Winning is the only thing in mind when it comes to competition. It's either you lay it all out on the line for glory, or you pack your bags and go home after a loss. Not every challenger can win a season, and as the challenge has grown into a mega show with highly competitive players, winning is harder now than it has ever been. However, these elite challengers have gotten the job done in one way or another. Not just once, but at least 3 times apiece.
To win the challenge once is one thing, but to do it multiple times is very impressive. With the show having 326 different competitors as of season 34, only 11 have accomplished the rare 3 wins. That breaks down to just barely over 3% to accomplish this feat, showing how rare it really is. So, let's break down all that have made this list in order in which they received their 3rd win.
Love War Challenges presents The Hitlist, MTV's The Challenge, The Trifecta. If you want to see more content on MTV's The Challenge, make sure you hit that subscribe button and listen to Love War Challenges on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. We will be counting Champ vs. Stars and Champs vs. Pros for this list. Unlike our unofficial official power rankings that we normally do, this will be a breakdown of the history that is the rare 3 wins, or as we call it, the Trifecta. So Tyler, start us off with the first Trifecta winner in challenge history.
Veronica. So remember how we said this was pretty rare? Well, back in the early days of the challenge, this feat appeared easy to hit, as it only took 8 seasons to get our first Trifecta winner. By the way of Road Rules Semester at Sea, Veronica hit the mark during her 5th season of the challenge. Veronica picked up wins in 3 different team challenges, those being Challenge 2000, Inferno 1, and Gauntlet 1, by the way of her strong social game and ability to hold and keep strong alliances. These seasons were all team seasons, which is probably why the internet doesn't give her full credit for this feat. However, you can only win the challenges that you're invited to, so in the end, a win is still a win.
Jamie Murray. The second person to complete a Trifecta was from Real World, New Orleans. Murray picked up 3 wins in his first and only 3 seasons during Extreme Challenge, Battle of the Sexes 1, and as a quote-unquote rookie on the Gauntlet 2. Yeah, MTV made a mistake and put Jamie on the wrong team during the Gauntlet 2, as rookies were players who had 1 or less season under their belt. Given that his appearances were over 4.5 years apart, you can kind of understand the mistake. And man, did Jamie take advantage of this. All 3 of Jamie's wins came during team seasons, with Jamie being the role player who everyone liked each time. Being able to stand next to the top dog on your own team is a great way to make it far without having to have a bullseye on yourself. This is the definition of using the advantages when giving to a player.
Darrell. The second Road Ruler to make it on this list is Darrell Taylor, by way of Road Rules Campus Crawl. Darrell is one of those competitors who is very strong in daily challenges as an individual, but can also be seen as a really good team player. He also is extremely likable, which is probably why most people want to align themselves with him. In Darrell's first 3 of 8 seasons, he hit his Trifecta right away, adding 2 more along the way. Those first 3 wins were on Inferno 1, Gauntlet 1, and Inferno 2. Now, these were all team seasons, but however, unlike the previous 2, Darrell stood out as one of the best competitors on those teams. While the others hit Trifectas on all team seasons, Darrell showed up 2 seasons later to take a pairs championship on Fresh Meat 1. Looking to the spin-offs, Darrell even won alongside Cara Maria, and they redeemed themselves after their fast elimination on Fresh Meat 2, and they came back and won Champs vs. Pros together. Maybe the most impressive stat from Darrell is his 13-year gap between his first and his last win, showing that he isn't slowing down with time.
Derek Kaczynski. If you're a challenge historian, seeing Derek on this list is both surprising and also very telling of his character and never die attitude. Derek was the original perennial underdog for the early part of his challenge career, coming up short time and time again. Where Derek started to earn his respect in the game was during his time as the captain of the veterans during the Gauntlet 2, where he was forced into 5 eliminations, winning 4 of those against much larger individuals. This was the start of Derek showing just how much heart he has. Derek started his Trifecta on Inferno 3. Largely thanks to CT being kicked off and Derek being sent in as his replacement. Derek later earned his way to a win on the island as well as on the ruins. Derek's legacy has changed over the years from underdog to the pitbull you don't want to face one-on-one. Derek almost had his 4th win after a 10-year hiatus on Dirty 30, but came up just short from taking the top spot.
Kenny, aka Mr. Beautiful, joined the Challenge family on the first season to cast outside of traditional MTV shows, back on Fresh Meat 1. Paired with Tina, Kenny touched his first final, but came up just short. In 8 seasons, Kenny made 7 finals, which is just unreal to think about how consistent he was at making finals. The only time he didn't make a final was when he got injured during the duel, and then got sent home in an early exit to Nehemiah. His wins, though, came on his 3rd, 4th, and 5th seasons, those being Inferno 3, The Island, and The Ruins. Being one of the founders of the JKE Alliance, or the EJK, or the KJE, however you want to say it, Kenny had a stronghold on the game before the first daily of every challenge he was on. Always being one to use his political game and his clout to keep himself around for the long haul, Kenny was dominant every season. Although his challenge career ended in controversy, Kenny left behind a dominant legacy of leading and winning.
Landon Lewick. Often looked as the GOAT of the challenge by some fans, Landon earned the title of Silent Assassin by letting his actions do the talking for him and never finishing worse than 4th on any season. Outside of his 4th place finish on the Duel 2, a challenge in which he dominated until the final elimination, Landon has won in all of his other challenge appearances, those being Inferno 2, Gauntlet 2, and Fresh Meat 2. Landon's first 2 wins were surrounded with elite and legendary players in which he worked alongside with very well. Fast forward to Fresh Meat 2 and one of the most impressive victories for any challenger to date. Landon's partner Carly has had the vibe of a layup, despite winning multiple endurance eliminations and looked like an easy 4th place finish in that final. However, Powerhouse Landon wouldn't let his challenge career end that way, and he carried Carly to a championship.
Evelyn. From one of the male goats to one of the female goats, Evelyn enters this list. Evelyn is one of the most imposing, dominating figures to ever grace the challenge, and she did so at 18 years old on Fresh Meat 1. Now, Evelyn hit her trifecta on her final season of the challenge, which was Rivals 1, which has a quote that stands to this day, where she said herself, "For her to win, the impossible has to happen. Paula has to win." She also has wins on Inferno 3 and The Island. In her 7 seasons, she was very adept to her surroundings, and if making a move at that given time was the right thing to do. She was a very strategic player who really only got highlighted for her brawn and competitive nature, but was truly a student of the game. Never one to shy away from taking on the top of the food chain, Evelyn's never back down attitude is what made her such a scary competitor to go against in dailies, eliminations, or even arguments. If not for her quitting on the Ruins, and if not for the downfall of the Gauntlet 3, Evelyn could have more titles here. She is still one female who could return today and compete in wreck shop.
I don't blame you, but this is a dirty game, bro. And what I've always said is all is fair in love, war, and challenges.
Johnny Bananas. The challenge record holder for the most seasons is next, with Johnny Bananas holding the Trifecta Club at the same time as Evelyn on Rivals when he won with his rival and former Real World Key West roommate, Tyler Duckworth. Bananas won his first season on the island in large thanks to Abram quitting and Evelyn choosing to side with him at the end instead of taking his key, and then won on his next season, The Ruins. Bananas later went on to win 4 more seasons over the next couple of years on Battle of the Exes 1, Free Agents, Rivals 3, and Champs vs. Stars 1. Always wanted to be the target of the young blood to enter the game, Bananas doesn't shy away from defending his throne. With his win on Free Agents, Bananas became the first Triple Crown winner in challenge history, which is somebody who has won on a team, in a pair, and as an individual. With 9 final appearances and 7 wins, it's very hard to argue against Bananas' status as one, if not the top challenger of all time.
CT. CT went through many phases throughout his MTV career. It all started with the hard-nosed, punch you in your face, and never say sorry bad boy. He later developed a sweet side once he found love on the show, but remained the target of every house he entered. The final stage of CT is where his champion success began, and this was with a more laid-back and now dad-bod CT. After 6 different seasons of losing in the final or getting eliminated just before it, CT finally struck gold in a partnership with Wes on Rivals 2. This pair dominated the game as well as the final, where it wasn't even close. CT's next accomplished wins on Invasion of the Champions and Champs vs. Stars 1. Even though CT doesn't look how he used to, or doesn't smash people's heads in and eat them anymore, he can still dominate the game. CT has also won Champs vs. Stars 2 and recently joined the Triple Crown Club with Johnny Bananas when he won on War of the Worlds 2 this past season, showing that he still has enough gusto to take on these new dogs and even showing some new tricks.
Cara Maria. If there was ever a challenger to do a complete 180 turn in their time on the show, it's Cara. Once looked at as one of the weakest females and somebody who needs to be carried to a finals and only does so due to her relationships, Cara has had the biggest glow up in the history of the show. This entry is a little different than the others as it is the only one that doesn't feature 3 main show wins. However, the spin-offs are all still challenges and are counted for this list. Now Cara has transformed how she plays the game and attacks it head on without fear. She is the current record holder for the most female elimination wins, as well as the most finals in a row for female at 5, and just recently set the record for consecutive episodes at 83. Cara earned her first win with her cousin Jamie Banks on Bloodlines. She later won Chance vs. Pros with partner Darrell Taylor and then became the first solo winner in challenge history on Vendettas. Love her or hate her, Cara has grown into the female face of the challenge.
Jordan. The final and newest member to the Trifecta group is the man people love to hate, Jordan. In his 5 seasons, he has won 7 eliminations and has been in 4 different finals. In these, he has 3 different wins. And in each of those winning seasons, he had to go into elimination and win some eliminations, as well as pick up some daily wins, showing that it wasn't an easy ride to the final. Now, what is different and impressive from Jordan compared to others is that he made 4 different finals, while at the same time, he puts a sour taste in every cast member's mouth with the way he talks, acts, the way he plays the game, yet they still have a hard time getting him out. Jordan is not only the newest Trifecta member, but he is the 3rd member of the Triple Crown Club, having won as a pair on X's 2, solo on Dirty 30, and just recently on a team in War of the Worlds 2. Despite all the heavy criticism he receives for his comments, actions, just overall thoughts during the game, no one can deny that when it's game time, Jordan comes ready to play almost better than anybody else. So what are your thoughts on the names above? Who had the best showing of hitting their Trifecta? Who had the worst showing? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. We look forward to seeing what you guys all think.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you listen to Love War Challenges podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more challenge-based lists in the future. A very big shout out to Lyoko for helping us with the research and the making of this list. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is The Hit List.